Welcome back, Days of Our Lives fans. If you caught the May 15th episode, you know something deeply unsettling is happening in Salem, and it's centered around one of its youngest residents, Tate Black. What started as a sweet, intimate celebration for Sophia Choi's birthday turned into a sudden medical scare. Now, fans everywhere are asking, what's really going on with Tate? Is this just a passing bug, or the beginning of a much more serious storyline? In today's video, we'll break down everything that happened, examine the potential consequences, and ask the question on everyone's mind: is Salem about to face another tragedy? Let's take a step back and revisit how this emotional night began, with love, effort, and quiet hope. Sophia Choi, navigating the early stages of pregnancy, had just received disappointing news: modified bed rest. No dancing, no late nights, and absolutely no prom, which heartbreakingly happened to fall on her birthday. For any teenager, it would have been a crushing blow. But especially for Sophia, who's been carrying the weight of judgment, whispers, and uncertain futures, it felt like another dream slipping through her fingers. That's when Tate Black stepped in, and reminded everyone just how much he's matured. Rather than letting the night pass in silence, Tate took matters into his own hands. He transformed an ordinary room into something magical: strings of soft lights, streamers, and a dinner table set for two. He even brought a birthday cake, complete with candles and a carefully chosen playlist playing softly in the background. It wasn't grand, it wasn't flashy, but it was intentional. It was the kind of gesture that says, "I see you. You still matter, even if the world's closing in." For a young man who's been through his own storms, this was a turning point. Even Marlena Evans, who once questioned Tate's emotional maturity, had recently praised his growth, especially in how he's handled the pregnancy situation with Sophia. This moment was supposed to be a turning page for them, a night about connection, healing, and maybe even a glimpse of what the future could hold. But fate had other plans. What began as a touching, candlelit evening quickly took a disturbing turn. At first, it was subtle. Tate, usually energetic and animated around Sophia, began to seem a little off. His smile faltered, his voice softened, he started pushing food around on his plate more than eating it. Then, the signs escalated. A sudden wave of nausea hit him. He grew visibly dizzy, pressing a hand to his temple as he tried to keep his balance. He sank into a chair, clearly trying to ride it out, but it was no use. Sophia's instincts kicked in. She leaned over, pressed the back of her hand to his forehead, and her eyes widened. Tate was burning up. Immediately concerned, Tate reached for a thermometer. Moments later, the reading confirmed what his body had already been screaming: a high fever. And just like that, the mood shifted entirely. The gentle flicker of birthday candles became an ominous glow. The soft music now felt eerie in the background. A night meant to comfort turned into one filled with fear. Tate, even in his weakened state, tried to apologize. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't mean to ruin tonight." But Sophia wasn't thinking about the party anymore. She wasn't worried about the cake, or the prom, or the decorations. She was worried about him. Because this wasn't a tired yawn or a moment of stress. This was real, and it was happening fast. Tate wasn't just a little under the weather. He looked like he was heading into something much more serious, and we felt it too. His pale skin, the way he gripped the edge of the table, the tremble in his voice, the glisten of sweat on his brow. This wasn't just a romantic evening cut short. It was the beginning of something Salem hasn't seen coming. And as we move into the next phase of this unfolding mystery, one thing is clear: Tate Black isn't just sick. He's at the center of a story that could shake everyone around him, especially the women who love him. Now let's address the elephant in the room, because some fans are asking, is Tate really sick? Or could this be a cleverly timed excuse? After all, Marlena Evans did recently caution Tate about not leading Sophia on, warning that emotional confusion during a delicate pregnancy could have serious consequences. That warning lingers in viewers' minds, raising suspicions. But let's be honest, nothing about what we saw felt fake. Tate didn't stage this. He didn't dramatize it. In fact, he tried not to make it a big deal. There were no exaggerated gestures, no eye-rolling exits, no awkward attempts to cut the night short. If anything, Tate looked embarrassed for ruining Sophia's birthday celebration, even though it was completely out of his control. What we saw was someone physically breaking down in real time. He grew pale. He became visibly dizzy. He pressed his hand to his forehead, not for show, but because his body was failing him. The thermometer didn't lie. The fever was real. And so was the fear in Sophia's eyes. This is the same Tate Black who's been showing emotional growth for weeks, stepping up to support Sophia through her unexpected pregnancy, planning a thoughtful celebration, and trying to be more than just a teenage boy. He's not playing games. He's not dodging responsibility. He's in trouble. So no, this isn't a cover-up. This is the beginning of something bigger. And in Salem, when someone gets sick out of nowhere, it's rarely just a coincidence. Now here's the real question. How bad is it going to get? Right now, Tate's symptoms are manageable. A high fever, dizziness, fatigue. But Days of Our Lives fans know the formula well. An unexplained illness almost always leads to something bigger. Could this be a rare viral infection sweeping through Salem? Could it be poisoning? Or something tied to the mysterious disappearance of the Versavix vials? Let's not forget, there are plenty of suspicious players moving in the shadows right now. And we've seen this before. One moment, a character looks like they'll be fine. The next, they're rushed to University Hospital, unresponsive, and at the center of a medical crisis that rocks the entire town. That's why there's growing fear that Tate may be heading in that direction. If his fever spikes suddenly, or if he collapses in the next episode, it'll set off alarm bells for every major character connected to him. Sophia, already emotionally vulnerable and trying to protect their unborn child, could be pushed into emotional collapse. Brady, Tate's father, would go into full panic mode. And Holly Jonas? She might finally realize just how deep her feelings for Tate still run. A health scare like this doesn't just impact the person sick in bed, it reverberates through families, relationships, and unresolved tensions. And let's not forget, Salem is not in a stable place right now. Between Philip's attack, Beau's coma, and Doug III's shady dealings, the possibility that this illness is part of something more sinister can't be ignored. Could Tate be a target? An accidental victim? Or is his condition the first clue to an outbreak or threat that no one's prepared for? One thing is certain, this isn't just about Tate. It's about everyone who loves him, and what they're willing to do to keep him alive. Now let's turn our attention to Holly Jonas, a young woman caught in her own emotional tug-of-war. Right now, she's dating Doug Williams III. On paper, they're a promising pair. Doug offers her stability, admiration, and the kind of attention she once craved from someone else. But that someone else has always been Tate Black. No matter how much Holly tries to convince herself she's moved on, there's a quiet truth she can't fully escape. Tate still owns a piece of her heart. And if Tate ends up hospitalized? In serious condition? Unconscious? That buried love could resurface fast, and with more intensity than anyone expects. The moment Holly hears that Tate is ill, her world could start to shift. Her confident posture might falter. Her words might stumble. Her focus might leave Doug and zero in entirely on the boy she once thought she'd spend forever with. This isn't just about concern. It's about connection. The fear of losing someone you haven't truly let go of can crack even the most carefully constructed relationships. And Doug, who already lives with a shadow of insecurity, might sense it immediately. Will Holly rush to the hospital? Will she sit at Tate's bedside, hold his hand, and whisper words she hasn't said aloud in months? If that happens, this love triangle won't just be complicated, it'll explode. Because illness often forces truth to the surface. And Holly may soon have to confront whether her heart ever truly left Tate, or if Doug has just been a placeholder for the one that got away. As the emotional storm brews around Tate, one person stands firmly, quietly, by his side, Sophia Choi. Despite everything she's going through, bed rest, emotional strain, uncertainty about her future, Sophia didn't hesitate when Tate showed signs of illness. She didn't panic. She didn't call someone else to deal with it. She leaned in and took control. Her first instinct wasn't to protect herself. It was to protect Tate. That simple act, touching his forehead, checking his temperature, offering comfort instead of fear, speaks volumes about her character. Yes, Sophia is young. Yes, she's made mistakes. But in that moment, she proved something vital. She's still all in for Tate. Not just because of the baby, not because of obligation, but because she genuinely cares. And if Tate's condition worsens, she won't back down. She'll be in the waiting room. She'll challenge doctors. She'll fight off anyone who tries to push her away from his side, even Holly. Because let's be clear, Sophia is not about to let history repeat itself. She's been painted as the complicated one, the girl Tate didn't choose. But that could all change when people see her strength in crisis. Her willingness to step up, to put others first, even while her own world feels unstable, could reshape how everyone sees her, including Tate himself. This moment might be the beginning of something deeper than teenage love. It might be the start of Sophia finally being seen for who she really is, not just as the pregnant girl in a love triangle, but as a fighter, a partner, and maybe even Tate's future. And if Holly shows up hoping to reclaim her place, she might find that someone else already earned it, with loyalty, courage, and love in its purest form. Now let's step back and speculate, because we know Duel loves to plant seeds before dropping a major reveal. What's causing Tate's illness? Could it be a rare virus sweeping through Salem? A side effect of something he ate or drank at the dinner? A deliberate act by someone with an agenda? Don't forget, we still have multiple shady subplots brewing, including Kevin Lambert's suspicious behavior, and Doug III's questionable ties. Could someone have targeted Tate? It's a wild theory, but in Salem, no theory is too far-fetched. As the days go on, we'll likely see this story intensify. Tate's sudden illness could be the catalyst for emotional revelations, relationship upheavals, and maybe even a darker mystery unfolding behind the scenes. One thing is clear: Salem is holding its breath. Because when a young man like Tate falls unexpectedly ill, the town rallies, and secrets start slipping through the cracks. So now we turn to you. Do you think Tate's illness is just a minor bug, or something much more serious? Will Holly come running back into his life? And could this storyline explode into a medical and emotional firestorm that no one saw coming? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Drop your theories, predictions, and emotional reactions. We want to hear it all. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss the next update on this rapidly unfolding story. Because in days of our lives, a fever isn't just a symptom, it's a signal. Love gets tested, and sometimes a scare becomes a turning point. Stay tuned and stay alert.